Okay, my story with shin splints starts 4 months ago. However, more recently, since I started university, I've had shin splints for nearly 2 months every day consecutively. The reason for this is because I didn't want to hurt my fitness while recovering. Because when you recover from shin splints, you need to go out of all high impact activity. So that meant no skipping, no running, no boxing, which I haven't done. But let's backtrack back to the start of the story. So early in the summer, in June or July, I started to take running really seriously. And by that I mean I went from 0 miles a day to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles of running per day. And to go from nothing to that amount is quite an increase. And due to the nature of running and the fact that I was uneducated on how to run, I got shin splints really badly, especially in my left leg. However, that variation of shin splints was a lot worse, because while both hurt during exercise, the shin splints I have now and back then it would hurt when I wasn't exercising. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd have this searing pain on my leg of shin splints when I was just lying in bed. Like it wasn't normal. So I go to the school physio and she gives me a physio routine. She says, of course, rest, don't do any high impact running. And she gives me these stretching routines, which did really help strengthen my calf and fibia, tibia. I think those are the bones, and also the shin. So that really helped with just the strengthening the integrity of the leg. So once I get back into running, I don't get them as quickly because now I'm educated on how to run. I made a video on this really far back on this before, but when I started running, it sounds stupid as fuck. I ran how I walk. So if you imagine how you walk, where the back of your foot hits the ground first, I did the exact same thing with running. And if you can imagine a graphic showing my bones whilst I'm running, where all you can see is my skeleton, as I'm impacting the ground with my foot, you can imagine a sort of red graphic going up my shin, showing the stress that it's putting my leg under. And it was the way I was running which caused this to happen so quickly and so intensely. I've spoken to someone I know who's done Ironmans and ultra marathons, and he says the way Nike have manufactured their shoes, especially the shoes where there's a massive, not insole, but there's a massive sort of increase above the ground of just foam or whatever the material is, it's allowed for people to run badly and run how they walk, which causes injury a lot quicker. So I start running again at the start of uni and now skipping again. Now educated on running, where running flat-footed is actually good. Of course, it doesn't sound good, but that's how you run. With some people, even really ultramarathon runners, they actually hit the ground with the front of their foot first, which is just crazy. But I guess if you're trying to prevent injury as much as possible, you do want to sort of, it's all in the ball of your foot. Okay, so let's talk about the 2 months more recently. These 2 months has been manageable because it only ever hurts when I'm exercising. So when I'm in bed, when I'm sitting down, when I'm cooking, when I'm eating, it's like it's not even there. But progressively, when I'm exercising, it gets worse and worse. And of course it comes in waves as well, because I don't know if it's adrenaline, but there's some hormone or something that gets released which tempers pain signals. Maybe it's endorphins. So the shin splints comes and goes. It's like sometimes when you're exercising it's not even there, and then it comes back really strong. it's very variant. But the way I am trying to cure it now is I'm doing a specific stretch where you get a resistance band and you put it on the back of your foot, like here, on this part of your foot, and you sort of like do this with your foot whilst you're holding the band, and that will strengthen, I don't know what it strengthens, it just strengthens your leg. And because you're doing it with your leg, you want to repeat it with your other leg. Now the other one, which is probably the better one, which you can do either in conjunction with the one you just done or this one separately, is you attach the resistance band around something in the gym, wherever you are. And instead of pushing forward with your leg, you sort of curl your foot back instead, like that. And what that does, there's a specific muscle I can see whilst I'm doing this, and it sort of goes from the top of your ankle, if you look now, and sort of curves round. This is your right leg. It starts at the top of your ankle, and it sort of curves round to the right of your leg, and it's that muscle which is being strengthened. And I don't know how that helps prevent it, but it's definitely, for me personally, anecdotally, has helped the most strengthen and stave off shin splints as much as possible. Now, shin splints itself, of course, consult your medical professional on this, but yeah, I'm not legally viable for anything. But I think what shin splints is, it's something to do with the tendon that connects the muscle in your lower leg to the bone in your lower leg. And it's the stress that comes under. And if you don't resolve it, it can become chronic. So if you do have shin splints, you really do want to manage it and maybe even go out of exercise, because in the long term, it will be better for you than just you keep hammering it with high impact load and workouts. Now, for those who don't want to tank their fitness for this, there's a specific form of cardio where it's very low impact, and it's cycling. Now, some people might say, oh, but cycling doesn't get your heart rate up enough. There's a specific interval routine which I've just learnt recently with one of my friends, and it's on the air bike. I don't know what brand it is, but if your gym has an air bike, the interval you need to do to keep up your fitness, and because it's low impact, you won't even feel your shin splints, because cycling is low impact. That is the really good benefit about cycling. You can keep your fitness up whilst your shin splints is getting better, because you're not tanking it with high impact loads. So what's the interval workout I use? This is what I do. I do 1 minute of really casual cycling on the air bike, really low intensity, maybe like 10%, 20%. Then for 15 times, I do 10 seconds of 100%, and then 50 seconds of, again, 10, 20%. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but after 15 times of doing that, and in the last time, the 15th time of going 100%, if you do it properly, you'll be fighting to stay conscious. I'll tell you that. And what's great about that feeling as well is you can almost feel the visceral feeling of like the hormones being secreted from your fucking endocrine system to get your fitness better for next time. So yeah, that feeling is definitely not the best in the moment, but you're happy you felt it after, definitely. Anyway, that's my contingent plan on how to tackle this southern episode of shin splints. But it's not all bad. I've learned a lot from it, and it's actually the different shin this time. So you could say that the shin splints I got last time was sort of fully healed, because I don't know what it is exactly, whether it's micro fractures which need to be healed, which means it comes back stronger. Yeah, I don't do biology, or I'm not a doctor, so yeah, that's just a relatable, hopefully a relatable and easy to access guide and information database on shin splints and how to resolve it if you have similar experience to me, similar feelings to me. And yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope this helps anyone with shin splints. Let me know if you recover from it using my advice here. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching.